What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I'm bringing you this because this is a story that we covered back when it happened. Um, it was on the other channel that got shut down by this devil. Um, and incidentally, you guys, I've been running into some videos that I didn't delete from my computer. Among them is a 9/11 video that I did, a documentary. I may release that. Um, I don't know because at the time that I did that, they weren't policing everything, and I have a lot of video footage in that. I probably have to go back and resource every single clip. Probably have to watch the video because it's nearly 3 hours long, and I probably have to go back and watch the whole thing and research every single one of those clips that I used to see where did I get them and what's. Oh my God, I can't. YouTube needs to just bite my ass. Um, Also, I didn't release the Rachel Dolezal thing, you guys, because it was taking too damn long to upload. When I went to go upload it, I was actually on the phone with my nephew, and as soon as it went to, because it takes a little minute, and then it shows you how long it's going to take to upload, and it was over 2 hours. I was like, fuck no. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I'm probably gonna do it. I just it's not timely now, but whatever. I still put in the work, and so I feel like I should release it. Um, and also the South Africa video I'm still working on, and also another delay on that is you guys remember I put out the video about the copyright claim that they're trying to claim on my video, but I have all the legal stuff on my side. So they're just dragging their ass because the numbers on those views are going up. Up, goddamn it, up. And they don't want to have to pay out that money to a nigga. You understand me? That's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. Anyway, so I have made sure that everything that I'm using in the South Africa video is cleared, but I'm just not done with that project yet. So just bear with me, you guys. It will be worth the wait, I promise you. But it has to be done right, because remember, I'm not here for numbers and bragging rights and popularity and all that stuff. I'm here to communicate seriously to my people. Every video that I produce, you need to leave that with something that you didn't have when you came to it. And we're not concerned about time frames. We're not. We're not. We're not interested in that here on this channel. We're not. It's about the message. It's about the knowledge. That's what it's about. So I felt compelled to do this because we had covered it before, and because of the hypocrisy. But I'm going to bring you this, and then I have another piece that I'm going to bring you that was actually provoked by my nephew. And I'm going to do that one last because this one will piss me off, and that one I can leave the video not pissed off. So we'll start with what's going to piss me off. Alright, you'll remember that now I haven't read this, so I can't remember exactly when we covered this, y'all. It was in the height of everything, this brother who was a Muslim, and he shot the white bitch that came out. The story's a little sketchy, and she came up to the police cruiser, and she was kind of erratic, to use their word, and he popped her. You feel me? So let us see now. And by the way, that's his wife there. We must assume there's a Muslima next to him. Allahu Akbar. Okay, this is Minneapolis. Minneapolis! A Minneapolis police officer who shot and killed a white devil-ass bitch from Australia in July turned himself in Tuesday after a warrant was issued for his arrest. A jail roster said he was held on third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter charges. How you get manslaughter and murder? I tell you, I've never heard that in my life, y'all. Never heard that. I've never heard that. I've never heard that. It's you got to pick one, you know. And then the judge can instruct that the jury can go for the lesser charge of manslaughter, or they can go for murder. But I never seen you be charged for manslaughter and murder. Like, that's the charge. Officer Mohammed Noor shot Justine whatever, a 40-year-old life coach, on basically she didn't do shit, on July 15th, 15 minutes after she called 911 to report a possible sex assault in the alley behind her home. Her death drew international attention, cost the police chief her job, and forced major revisions to the department policy on body cameras. That's one white bitch, everybody. One. But you'll recall that nobody's ever fired, and indeed they're promoted when they murder one of us. You'll recall that the criminals that murdered Tamir Rice, they were known to be criminal, and they were promoted. In fact, one of them had come there, and like that, they had just moved him to another station. It's never a big change in the department, and oh my God, you know, the chief has to go and all that. We've not seen this. Never. So the hypocrisy of it all. And then they say, and force major revisions to the department's policy on body cameras. Every fucking precinct across this bitch claimed they didn't have the funding, and we don't know, and body cameras are this and this and that. And then ones that got it claimed, well, that we'll use them, but then the public isn't allowed to see the footage, and all the fucking bullshit they played. But let me help you understand that while they couldn't get money for a body camera, every fucking precinct across this asshole of Satan has those SUV ass fucking police cars, and I know that shit costs more than a camera, bitch. Don't do it. Don't. But this is one white bitch from Australia, no less. And it cost the police chief her job and forced major revisions to the department policy body cameras. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman planned a Tuesday afternoon news conference to discuss the charges. Muhammad has not spoken publicly about the case. His attorney, Thomas Plunkett, confirmed that Muhammad turned himself in but had no other immediate comment. Now, this is not policy or anything. They immediately go to murder and manslaughter, everybody. We've seen the most heinous fucking shootings of our people, and I'm sure we can find some of them without any searching in Minneapolis. But one white bitch, and it has to be murder. And mark my word, they will stack the jury with white people. Because he's black and he's a Muslim. Period. But, back when I brought you the original story, we understand that Muhammad was beloved in the community. Like, he talks to people and all that stuff. He's not like an asshole cop. And, of course, he wouldn't be. He's a Muslim. You know. And so, and then you always hear the white devil say, juries just don't like to convict police officers. You have to add to that, white people just don't like to convict other white people. That's what that translates to. You have to speak white devil. You have to. You have to. You have to get your doctorate in white devil. A policeman who was with Muhammad at the time of the shooting, Matthew Harity. By the way, I don't miss any opportunity to teach. The name Muhammad, everybody, for y'all Christian folks out there, there's portions in your scripture, all through your scripture, the the Prophet Muhammad is being prophesied, and you just go straight over that shit like it's not a fucking Vegas sign or some shit. But there's even places in your scripture where it says that he will be known as the praised one. Like telling you who he is and everything. The very name Muhammad means the praised one. I'm over you. Contemplate. Contemplate. Who was with Muhammad at the time of the shooting, Matthew Harity, told investigators that he was startled by a loud noise right before the chick approached the driver's side window of their police SUV. Harity, who was driving, said Muhammad then fired his weapon from the passenger seat. So he heard a noise and then Muhammad fired. She died of a gunshot wound to the abdomen. The officers did not turn on their body cameras until after the shooting, and there was no squad camera video of the incident. Well, because they only do that for us. She's a white bitch that called, and I'm sure if we did a little deeper digging about the neighborhood, and she's Australian, and it's at night, and they don't, it's not the same level of threat because they're not dealing with melanin. You feel me? So it all changes. We know they police differently for their ass than they do for us. Period. The end. They just damn it do. The lack of video was widely criticized. Well, bite my ass, because they played every game in the world with us, and even the Laquan McDonald in Chicago. Let us not forget that the whole fucking city was in on holding that video for over a year, bitches. So now, because it's a white chick, they fire people and they're criticizing there was no video, and here they go. Well, they deserve what the fuck they got. I'm over it. And her family members were among the many people who call for changes in procedures. Welcome to our world, bitch. Including how often officers are required to turn on their cameras. The shooting also... Now, they wouldn't have no problem if this had been somebody black. You see, what's good for the goose shall be good for the gander as time moves on. Your day of revenge is at hand. You will reap what you have sown. From the greatest to the smallest, it shall be done. It shall be done. It shall be done. The shooting also prompted questions about the training of Muhammad, a 2-year veteran and Somali American, whose arrival on the force had been celebrated. Hold up, y'all. No, goddamn it, I'm over it. Hello. A 2-year veteran and Somali American whose arrival on the force had been celebrated by city leaders and Minnesota's large Somali community. Muhammad, 32, had trained in business and economics and worked in property management before becoming a police officer. You need to also know that Somalia is 100% Muslim. But I always tell you that the continent of Africa is mostly Muslim, everybody. That Christian vomit is not the dominant religion on the continent. As I always tell you, it is only in this asshole of Satan that our people are monopolized by that vomit. 86% of African people in this nation are under that anesthesia. It's saddening. It's saddening. It saddens me. Then Chief Janae Hartrue defended Muhammad's training and said he was suited to be on the street, even as she criticized the shooting itself. But her ass, who was on vacation when the shooting happened and didn't make her first public appearance until several days after the shooting, was forced out soon after by Mayor Betsy Hodges, who said she had lost confidence in the chief. So you had a female chief and a female mayor. What happened to Time's Up and hashtag I'm her or her whatever that damn it, I don't know, can't remember, Me Too or some shit. You see? And we never see the mayor get involved in our shit. It's just the chief. And the police, the department will investigate itself, and they determine there was no wrongdoing, and listen, I'm a consistent man. I have no sympathy for my enemies. I don't. I don't. That's contrary to my spirit and my very existence as a human being, as a man. I don't feel shit for people that are my enemy. Now, any loss of life is a sadness, I mean, it's human life, allegedly. But it's human life, allegedly. And so, she lost her life, and it's sad. But, again, I can't feel for this. Because I have a list way longer than this one heifer. From all ages, women and men, children, that we've been slaughtered. And there's never any recompense. Ever. Her replacement, Madaria Arradondo, quickly announced a policy change requiring officers to turn on their body camera in responding to any call on traffic stop. And you notice they also mentioned they were in an SUV. So there you have it. So if I'm an attorney in that state, I want to go through and review every single police shooting of our people and see where body cameras weren't turned on and what was response from the mayor and the fucking chief, bitch. Listen, being charged and being convicted are two different things. And alas, I can see in this, because it looks like his partner, the Harity dude, said that there was a loud noise first and then he fired. And in the original story, Muhammad was on the passenger side, the white dude was driving. So it would have been easier for him to act. So you got his partner backing him up. But again, it's, he's still an African man with melanated skin, and the rules always change or either simply don't apply for us. I'm over the shit. I'm going to follow this, though. I'm going to follow this, and I want you guys to help me follow it because, I may miss things, and I just caught this by accident. So when you see a new development on this, you holler at your boy and let me know. Especially my real ground troops out there. Y'all know who y'all are. The vigilant ones that, that bring me stuff and let me know about things, and I appreciate you so much. So, I didn't get as worked up as I thought I would over this, y'all, but I'm still worked up. God damn it, I'm worked up. But the other piece I wanted to bring you was this. Now, my nephew and I were on the phone. Now, I knew about this kid. I've known for years. And, actually since Michael passed. So, probably 2010-ish. 10 or 12, probably, just. And my nephew brought him up again the other day when we were on the phone, and he was like, something, I forget what he's mentioning, about this kid, Brandon Howard. I go, yeah, B. Howard. And we got to talking about it. And I never did any, I wasn't doing YouTube videos at the time that I learned about this kid, and I haven't thought about him. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about him now, because when me and my nephew were talking, I went and I searched him again, and then I seen that I didn't know he had been on Sway in the morning. So I was like, oh, I didn't know he was ever on Sway. So let me click on that immediately, because maybe there'll be, because I just like the way Sway asks questions and do stuff, his rapport with his guests. In my mind, Sway and I are buddies and we hang out. So just, what I'm saying? I feel like he owed me $10. I just feel like he owed me $10 right now. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I just feel as though, and I just feel as though he owed me $10 right now. You know what I'm saying? In order to grow as a man, I'm gonna need my $10. You know what I'm saying? Understand this. But I saw that interview, and I'll tell you about that. But I want to go back to when he first came onto my radar, because there was after Michael passed, there's a lot of stuff online with these people that Michael faked his death. I'm over it. Listen, here's the only proof you need. One of the many things that I shared in common with Michael Jackson was I've told you guys, my grandmother and his mother are the same people. They're the exact same people. I couldn't even watch his mother after he passed because I was watching my grandma. My grandma wore those glasses and that was her best wig, and I promise you, she sound like her and everything. I've met his mother. I've told you guys I have his mother's autograph in the entryway to my home. And but Michael was like to his mother the way I was to my grandmother. My grandmother was my world and still is, even in death. She's my world. She's the greatest gift other than life itself to me that Allah has ever given me. She is my angel. I'm always quoting her. I'm always talking about her. She's ever present with me, dude. Anyway, I mention that just to say, Michael would not fake his damn death and put that pain on his aging mother. He could never do that. That wasn't where his heart was. Now, I could see many reasons why it would have been very beneficial for him to fake his death, but you can't put it. They said that Elvis faked his death, and then they did Tupac and all this. Listen, y'all can have Elvis and Tupac on this issue, but we're talking about Michael Jackson. Hear this now, because this is a statement of truth. He is the most famous human being ever known to civilization. That is a daunting truth, but it is the truth. Not even prophets from God can make that claim. This man's name and face was known across the earth, instantly recognizable in any language, any culture. He was known. Now, why that becomes important in this is because when I saw this kid, well, first let me go back to when I first seen him, and there was some chick, I forget her name. She's a sister. Anyway, she's really like on this case of the Michael Jackson fakes his death and all this and the third. Anyway, there was an interview of her interviewing this dude. It's the first time I've ever seen him. And I promise you, because remember, I impersonated Michael Jackson for many years back in the day. I've shown you guys video and everything. And I studied Michael. That's what gave me my edge over anybody else that was out there doing him. They might have looked more like him than me. They might have done, but they weren't. Most of them definitely couldn't outdance me because I'm a dancer and choreographer. So, most of them were just only do Michael Jackson dance. But I studied the man. His every mannerism. How did he chew gum? How did he hold a coffee cup? How did he step out of a limousine? How did he walk? How did he run? How did he do everything? What was his speaking pattern? My intent was to give the illusion of him from the moment I showed up and met with a client. I don't need me showing up at all. I'm not supposed to be seen there. I'm here to impersonate this man. And why that becomes important is because when I seen that interview of this dude, I was floored. I was floored. Even his involuntary movement, the movement of your body that your brain controls, just incidental movements and stuff like that, was point on, Michael. Point on. Not only that, they have the same teeth and the same smile. Now, all this rouging or whatever he's got going on here, because in this video in fact, let's see if we can hear this. I'm not going to try and redo the video, the audio, you guys. There's a way I could do the audio. I'm too fat and lazy right now. Just hopefully you can hear it. Look at this. Look at the smile. Look at the smile. But it's also words that he chooses, everybody. I want to go back. I want you to hear something. Listen, I know Michael Jackson like I know my name. Because I was an excellent impersonator. Now, when you look at Michael's smile, and Michael had some, he probably had some work done to, really have his teeth look really, but we're talking about the shape of the teeth, the direction of the teeth, and just how God placed them in his mouth. You know what I mean? Forget veneers and all that. This dude has the exact same thing going on. Also, this is known as your embouchure. Right here, this is your embouchure. For all of us that play brass instruments and woodwinds, y'all know what I'm talking about. Your embouchure. You keep that tight, especially y'all clarinet players. Y'all work y'all nerve. And flutists too. We all do, damn it. But I played French horn. Anyways, his embouchure is the same as Michael's. Same embouchure. Now, watch. No, I know not a damn thing about poker. That's a Michael Jackson answer. That's a Michael Jackson answer. No, I know not a damn thing about poker. Because Michael was very self-deprecating. He was easy to laugh. He was, Look at the biting of the mouth. You see how he bit the bottom lip? That's classic Michael. Classic Michael. Classic. Run it. Watch. There. Classic Michael. That is Michael Jackson's smile, dude. I'm telling you, I used to study Michael Jackson. Hours. I watched him. I studied him. Everything about him. Even the high-pitched voice, that is subjective in this context, because we know that the high-pitched voice of Michael's was not his real voice. Even his vocal coach has spoken at length about that. Like, he was trying to get him for many years to, why don't you just use your regular voice? And we know that towards the end, Michael was using a deeper voice. If you go back to Thriller and Off the Wall, it was way up there, like Peter Pan, Get Your Wings. You feel me? Then, because that's the one everybody makes fun of. And they stayed on that. Nobody gravitated down once Michael went down. It made me sick. Even at the Super Bowl, if you go back and watch his Super Bowl performance, when they handed him the mic, he goes, today we stand together. And it was like, what? Michael? Did you? Or any of his award show stuff, it became, instead of it being, I don't see Quincy in the audience. I don't see Quincy. It wasn't that anymore. It went to, first I like to thank God. I like to thank my parents, Catherine and Joseph Jackson, and so forth. It was lower. It wasn't as in the stratosphere as it had been. So I don't. Everything that I've seen on this kid, this is his same voice, but it could be a fake voice. So I'm just pointing that out.
I remember the whole thing. Came out Michael. Pops,
The
everything.
lip.
I'm not gonna get all crazy into that, but
See, and the kid and the guy he's mentioned something about Michael, and he goes, I'm not gonna get all crazy into that. Why I'm bringing this, what really provoked me, you guys, because when Sway asked him, he said, so I gotta ask you, because you've been up here before, and I know you, but I gotta ask you again, are you Michael Jackson's son? He goes, I didn't come here to talk about that. It's about the music, and that's why this whole video is about, y'all, because that really bites my ass in places I didn't even know I had. All right, and we're still searching, because I feel like this. You owe us this. You owe us. Because we've been given these three imposter ass kids who we can acknowledge that Michael raised. That's fine. But don't give us biology. Because I don't give a damn. At the end of the day, Michael Jackson was a brother, homie. A brother. And he was the most famous human being ever known to civilization. You're his child. You owe us this. You owe it. You owe it. It's unfortunate, but you have to play the cards you've been handed. We're not persecuting you because you're his son. I'm saying you owe this to us because you're in a unique position of being the son of the most unique human being the world's ever known. You owe us, Brandon. Now, his mother is Miki Howard. And I don't know, I may bring you some video on that, I'm not sure. But anyway. And ironically, Miki Howard, they used to call her Billy. And then Michael had Billie Jean. So there's speculation of, was that Billy? Is that really Billie Jean? Now here's a picture of Billy, damn it all, of Miki Howard and this dude Augie, which is allegedly his father. Excuse me, but even in this picture, we see that this boy doesn't look like this man. He don't look like him. I'm so sorry. He don't look like that dude. Even there, he looks like Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson was little. Now, this was a picture of him. Oh God, Latoya, God help you, girl. There he is. He's got some tight fashion. Like, just let me get in your closet for a minute, homie. Just look, and the ashy elbow, everybody. So he definitely qualifies as an African, no matter what. So said just the toilet. Getting to know Auntie Latoya, Michael Jackson's love child, Brandon Howard, enjoys a night out with the singer's sister. This was from 2014. Here's also a piece where they ask her. Miki Howard denies having son with Michael Jackson says, I'm Brandon Howard's father. Feel me? So see, I'm a 53-year-old grandmother. What am I going to talk about? Who's your baby daddy? Are you serious? Asked the legendary singer. Um, uh, who's Miki Howard is a question that has flooded the internet this past week and a half following reports that there's a 99.9999 probability that her son, singer Brandon Howard, was sired by the late king of pop, Michael Jackson. The lab where the test was done turned out to be fake. Um, if you're R&B lover, blah blah blah, we don't need that. Ain't nobody like you. Yeah, that was the song I love by her. Ain't nobody like you, and you know it, babe. This week, this last week and a half must have been a roller coaster for you and your family. Did you know the DNA test was happening? No, of course not. I didn't know anything. I have grown children. They're over 30 and they do their lives and everything. I have no idea. I just turned on the TV, so I thought whatever it is, it's some junk. I'm going to blow it's going to blow over. And then I kept going. I was and then I kept going. I was just very hurt. Hmm. What exactly hurt you about it? This is a good question. I don't know. I don't want to be introduced to people that have never heard of me as being this. I don't like that. And then the people around me that I personally know became, real opportunists and weird. It's been awful. Listen, that's an interesting answer. She says, I don't want to be introduced to people that have never heard of me as being this. So you see, like why would that be your first concern? Like your career? That's a weird answer. Uh how have you how have your conversation and then the concern about people around her becoming opportunists. So in other words, that suggests it's not a flat out denial. Now, it's not. Um and I'm going to talk more about him too. Um how have your conversation with Brandon been? My concern is that he's safe and that his mental health is good. Whatever that stuff is going around, it's going to die. People are saying really bad things, and it's just you hate to see your children hurt. You put out a very interesting statement, though, where you said you had signed a non-disclosure agreement with the Jacksons. What does that mean? Ooh, I love this. We have those. So do a lot of people. Because in this business, but no, a lot of people have them now, but it wasn't like the big thing back when he would have been conceived. It would have been like the big thing. Not saying they wouldn't have had one, but she's saying so do a lot of people. Well, now a lot of people do them, and the public knows about it. You see, because in this business as a family, you create a family of artists. Like most people do. You have your pretend aunts and stuff, and most of these people are famous, and we have non-disclosures because if you start talking about people's personal business, it starts this kind of stuff. The Jacksons are good people. I've known them for many, many years. You just have non-disclosure agreements when kids are around and you're uh, intermingling with each other's lives personally, and you may see something that they don't want disclosed, or they may see something that you don't want disclosed. That's all that is. Is that how it works in Hollywood? Yeah, it's because when media gets things and it's coming from like the housekeeper, maybe a personal assistant, and they're telling their business, I don't want to be known for that. I have worked too hard. My career is 35 years old. I'm a real craftsman, and this is what I present to the public. If we start getting into my private life, a pen and a pencil ain't gonna help. See, even there, like, I mean, I don't know when that picture is from, but again, he don't look nothing like that dude, Augie. Like, stop playing with me right now. Let's get into something really juicy. 2 years ago. From then, from people. Uh, well, let's see. This may be something. One day, maybe things will go over and maybe people will feel differently or whatever. Everybody will sit down and we'll say what's happening. And then there will be a time when you could find out. Wait, from then, wait, I gotta read the whole thing. Okay, the non-disclosure agreement you had with the Jacksons was because you had a prior friendship with the family from when you were working with Joe Jackson. Jackson was Howard's manager in the 1980s. From recently, not that long ago, because Brandon started to put out music and people were always asking questions. So we did that then, like maybe 2 years ago. Because I don't want to be talking about this. One day maybe things will go over and maybe people will feel differently or whatever. This is very, it's, come on now. Everybody will sit down and say what's happening. And then maybe there'll be time when you could find out. So again, no flat out vehement denial and how dare you ask me this. That's the most ridiculous thing you could ever say. Are you kidding me? And Michael is gone from this earth. How dare you insinuate he has 3 kids of his own and blah 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 blah. You feel me? That's what one would expect to hear. But what is really good to find out is that those are good people. Mr. Jackson did a great job. Brandon was photographed out with Latoilet this week. Uh, I just don't, I don't want to cry. Why would you cry? Because it's so beautiful. People try to make something nasty and terrible of that. Why? You know, you don't want to do that. How would that, see, I'm telling you, y'all, where there's smoke, there is, get damn it, fire. The man claiming to be Brandon's father, Augie Johnson, has come out saying that Michael Jackson didn't even know you. Is that accurate? We know that's a lie because she said she's known them for many, many years. See? Um, I can't make any statements regarding to what that man is saying. I have no idea what he's talking about. This opens up cans of worms and memories and things that have no business being discussed in public. There are people who say Brandon looks like Michael. Yeah, whatever. And then she laughs. I know he's my son. Nobody's saying he's not your son, Mickey. You see? We talking about Michael being his father. Listen, it's you see, it's stuff like this with anything. It's not just what you say; it's what you don't say. But it's also how you say what you do say. And does that line up with what would be authentic? And I know that I've been the father for the last 30 odd years. Okay, well that can still be accurate because Michael was on the road and he didn't have time and and so again, I know that I've been the one that's supplied every emotional need, every financial need, every physical need. So the whole question is really and truly, it's like get the fuck out of here. Have you spoken to the Jackson family during all of this? No, I haven't spoken to anybody. That doesn't sound believable. I'm not interested. Listen, there would at least be a phone call. Are you guys hearing all this that's going on? Do you know they're saying that this and this and the third? But instead she says, I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm not interested. I don't believe her. I love Miki Howard, but goddamn it, I don't believe you, my sister. Personally, I wouldn't have made a statement. I don't care. I already know what's happening. I'm a 53-year-old grandmother. What am I going to talk about? Who's your baby daddy? Are you serious? Ask me something else. I've been doing this for 35 years. Ask me how many records I've made. I've been under the radar, enjoying my life. You're working on a new album? Okay, we don't care about that. How would you describe the album? Nobody cares, all right. So are you? So you are not Billie Jean. I'm not. If anything, I'm more Billie Holiday than Billie Jean, baby. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue is out this summer. I guess that's her record. I don't believe you. Or in the words of Judge Judy, I don't believe you. Put your head down. I don't believe you. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. And she's still beautiful. And I've always thought she looked like Billie Holiday too. Like she had that whole smoky, jazzy, classic beauty thing going on. I love Miki Howard. Yes. Yes. Yes, my sister. Yes. But here's the catcher. Because I see what's at play in his thinking. You know, he is thinking that because he's not just thinking it. He said this, you know. He was like, you know, people have to understand. I've been doing my own thing on my own, you know, and you know, even though I had the influence of the family, and you know, it was mostly Jermaine and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I'm my record's number 10 on the Billboard charts, and I'm this and I'm that, and I praise you, brother. That's fine. So he thinks he's in fear of people saying that he won't be received on his own merit. Well, I got an answer for you, B. Look at your Auntie Janet. We don't even remember that Michael is her brother. If it's good, it's just good. You know, Janet had 2 albums before Control. Dream Street was a good album and a good song even. Dream Street, when it all comes down, when it all just fade away. Dream Street, I loved it, I loved it. Anyway, and nobody cared. And then she got with Jimmy and Terry. She went to A&M Records. John McClane set her up with Jimmy and Terry. They sent her to Minneapolis. You see what I'm saying? And boom, Control. We haven't looked back. She just goes, we just know her as Janet. That's it. We don't even, listen, there's going to be a generation, there might already be a generation, who doesn't even know that that's Michael Jackson's sister and they love Janet. No idea. They just love Janet and that's it. It'd be hard to not know that with the internet, but there might be some folks out there. But my point is that if your Aunt Janet can do it, you can do it too. It won't matter. You know, we haven't received Rebe because she just hasn't been good. You know, she's had a couple good songs, you know, but Rebe ain't blown up. LaToya, I've said enough. You see what I'm saying? So it just all the brothers, you know, and Jermaine, Randy had Randy and the Gypsies for like 5 minutes back in the day. That fell flat and failed. Jermaine tried. He had a very lukewarm solo career, and that sort of, you know, hit the skids. So it just was not doing anything. And in fact, even when one of my best friends at the time, Bill, said to me, "Have you heard Janet's new album?" He was talking about Control. I was like, Janet's probably just trying to be your brother. I was over it. Like, I didn't even care. And then I saw What Have You Done For Me Lately? And it was there. The expression, the presence. Wow. I was like, that's Janet. Like, because last time I seen her, she was Charlene on Different Strokes. So of course I immediately met her. We immediately got married, had our first child, but that'll be in another video. That's gonna be another video. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into it. Not gonna get into it. Not gonna do it. Uh, um, but it was good, and then she followed up with Nasty and Then she came with the live version of the Control. Like, what? That's it. Then it was a Janet Jackson Love Fest. But at the night that she went into the stratosphere was when she performed Control on the American Music Awards. Because it was the same thing as when Michael performed Billie Jean on Motown 25. People remembered where they were and what they were doing when he did that. And Michael had already been famous, just like Janet had already been famous. The Jacksons couldn't go nowhere. But that night, after that night, Michael could go nowhere. After Control, Janet could go nowhere. You see? So that was her stratospheric moment. So if your Auntie Janet did it, you can do it too. But you owe us this. You owe it to your father too. You owe it. You owe it. You owe it. Because he has billions of fans across many generations. We lost him too soon. You clearly look and sound just like him. You owe us. You owe us. You owe us. And what he will find is his fear is misplaced. Because what he will see is that people, because we know that the rest of your family is his brothers and sisters, and we're not even checking for them except for Janet. So if your stuff is good, we will check for you. Nobody's just going to buy your stuff and give you love simply because you're Michael Jackson's son. And at the same point, not revealing that you're his son, if your stuff is bullshit, you're still going to be in a rut. So it comes down to the quality of what you put out. It's about the music. It's about the music. You know? You owe us this. You owe us. You owe it to us, man. You owe it to us. I want to know what you guys think. You know? And I don't know what type of stardom he's looking for. You know? Is he afraid that if he says he's Michael's son, that he won't be able to go anywhere at all? But you're building a career now that will probably go to that if it's good. So that will take care of itself. You're not going to be assaulted and attacked because you're Michael's son. You're already out in the public eye. I feel like he owes us this, man, because we don't have any real closure on Michael. His death was a scandal, clearly a murder, and a conspiracy, and you know, just what they've done with his money and all that stuff, and it just it's a scandal. You owe us this, and then you just do your thing. Because I'm sick and tired of Prince and Paris and Blanket. I'm over the shit. I'm over it. This is what the son of Michael Jackson should look like when he leaves the earth. Your seed should look like you or have some of your attribute. They should either walk like you or talk like you or laugh like you or something, or your print is there, and it's not on them 3 kids. It's just not. But it's on this one. And if you weren't his son, then you would just say emphatically, I'm not his son. Now there was a while back where because they did some DNA test, and because there was a company that said we have absolute proof that he's Michael's son, and then when it came time to release it, then they go, oh, they faked the DNA and all this. I think there was some backroom wrangling that went on to say that he wasn't, because otherwise he would be sole heir to Michael's money. He would be able to lay some kind of claim. Lawyers would come out of the woodwork. They'd crawl out of the grave and go, we'll represent you. you know. So there would have been an incentive for powers that be at AEG and Sony and other entities to move into these little low level DNA people and say you need to say that shit is wrong and quietly go away because we can disappear your ass. And they may or may not have put the fear of God in him. Maybe they paid out a coin secretly, or something of this nature. But if this dude is not Michael Jackson's son, then I don't exist and breathe. He said he grew up around the family. His Joe Jackson used to be his mother's manager. You know, it's all very cozy. It's all very cozy. He's big overseas. I've seen some of his work. Let's see if we get you something else. The other thing is when he speaks about music, he speaks about it the same way Michael did. With that passion and deep love for music and the creative process. And he wants to change the world. And dude, if you not Michael's son, then you need to just come out and fucking say that. We still not gonna believe you. But you need to stop with this. Next question. No comment. Let's talk about the music. Because if somebody comes to me and says, are you related to Oprah? I'd be like, are you kidding me? I wish the fuck I was related to Oprah. Like, it would be some kind of like, I wouldn't be like, next question. Or let's talk about the music. Or like, fuck that. Like, I'm so not Oprah related to Oprah. And that's what makes it more egregious for me. Because they're not asking you about somebody else. They're asking you about the most famous human being known to civilization. Are you his son? And he really acts like it's such a sore spot for him. I can't. Hopefully y'all can hear some of this. I don't know how tall he is, but he seems to be about Michael's height. Watch the movement. The hand in the pocket. This is Michael. Is that Fatima? No. Look at that. Look at that. Look. And he's a good-looking kid. I'm proud of him. Look at that. I've seen hours and hours of Michael in rehearsals. Do you understand me? This dude, I could have met him anywhere. I wouldn't have to know anything. I could have just met him at fucking Walmart or some shit. I would have been like, excuse me, young brother, can I hold you for a second? Like, are you... Damn, it makes me want to be in a dance studio right now. Teaching. Oh man. See, that's how we do. Like we've look, we're when you first start teaching routine, you may get the count. It's that gets killed out very quickly. It becomes da sha cuckoo da da and tak ta. After we do the shank and then taka sha sha, it becomes a whole different language. Oh man. Sushi boom pop chick top. Like I said, I can respect him. His, uh, that's Michael. He's even got his posture. His natural standing posture is just like Michael's. I feel like he's the same height as Michael too. That's Michael Jackson's son, dude. I don't give a damn. And I will fight you. I will do that. Get it, get it, get it. His kindness, he's just like Michael, dude. I'm telling you. And even producers are talking about how when he's in the studio, he's just like, he produces like the old way. When people really appreciated music. Come on. Listen, Tito's kids have been around Michael, and they were a flop and a disaster. Okay, they had kind of a little lukewarm career for a minute there. Okay, so fine, but it's still, this is Michael Jackson's son, everybody. And even I just happen to pause it here. If you go back to the Bad album and look at the picture of I Just Can't Stop Loving You, it's overhead lighting like this for the shadowing on Michael, and that's what the fuck it looks like. I'm over it. He looks like Michael when he did Rock With You. This is Michael Jackson's son. I don't give a damn what nobody tells me. I will take that to my grave. And I'd like to know why we have not seen. Well, I'd have to go back now because, well, he might have been, but maybe they cut that out. I was just gonna say, like, we would have seen any footage from This Is It, or maybe at the memorial. It was just the brothers, but we didn't see none of the kids. We only saw the main kids, like Janet, Latoya, Reby, Janet, and the brothers. We didn't see 3T, Jermaine's kids, and Tito's. We didn't see none of them kids, so we didn't see him either. And then of course the Michael's kids were there in Paris, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I believe this is Michael Jackson's son. I believe that. I believe that. Black genes are too strong, homie. And in that family, the genes are very strong. The genes are very strong. They all look alike. This kid is Michael Jackson's son. Oh, my mama. This is his son. If you had told me, oh no, my mom is not Miki Howard, and even if my mom's Miki Howard, they didn't know the Jacksons at fucking all. Still don't know if that'd be good enough for me, but it'd be a starter. But you grew up with the family. He tells all these stories of being at the house, and we'd be upstairs in the studio, and we'd be doing this and this and that, and so you basically, you the family. Don't tell me you not. Come on, dude. I can't. You owe us this. You owe us. I just feel like you owe us. I feel like he owes us, man. Like in all the sea of lies and deceit, can you just be the light of truth? Can you just tell the truth? I'm over it. We'll hear a little bit of his performance from Japan. He sang with some Japanese chick. Even though his fingers come together, that's Michael Jackson, dude. Go and watch Michael put his hand out and watch how his fingers line up. We'll need her. We don't need her. Trust. See there when he's singing a duet? See how he does the hand? That's Michael Jackson. Michael always held that hand out like he's giving it to you. Like he's giving it to you. Go watch him sing I Just Can't Stop Loving You with Anybody. That hand. The hand. That. All of it. All of it. That's Michael. Because Michael loved to share the music. Share. He loved to just share. So his body language reflected that. Share it. Give it. Don't need her. Don't need her. Look how he holds the mic. Again, I used to pay attention to Michael's detail. I know he holds a microphone even. Look how the fingers line up. That's Michael Jackson. That's Michael Jackson. That's how he held his microphone. Exhibit A. Notice how Michael holds the microphone in his left hand. Go watch anything. That's what I mean by oh damn. That's what I mean by involuntary movements, you know? Oh, there's some stuff I didn't see that at the beginning. Alright, let's go back to where we was at. I also noticed in some of his performances that I saw that his belts, he'll have the buckle on the going to the side, on the side, like not in the center. That's classic Michael too. I don't know if he's doing it on this. I haven't really seen his belt on this one. Look at that hand. Look at the hand. Notice how the hand tilts back. That's classic Michael. You see how the hand tips slightly back? Anytime Michael would have his hand up like that, watch any shit that he does, that hand is tilted back. It's not just straight up. It's always tilted back. That's, again, one of those involuntary things. Body language. Them teeth give it all away. His bone structure. Plus, remember, that whole family has high cheekbones. You see, just like my family, they got the cheekbone thing going on. They're from the Midwest. We from the Midwest. Michael's from Gary. I'm from Chicago, homie. South Side. Hear that? I love you. It sounds just like fucking Michael, dude. Like fucking, don't do it. That is Michael Jackson's son. I promise you, on everything holy and sacred. I can't, dude. I can't. I just need him to come out with it and just say, yes, I am Michael Jackson's biological fucking son, and that's it. Because Miki Howard is kind of sketchy about who the father is and all this. You feel me? Like, nah. And I'm not sure how old this kid is. Where's my phone? Let's ask the white heifer. How old is B. Howard?
B. Howard is 36 years old.
He's 36? Get out! So he's a warlock just like the Jacksons? 'Cause they all look freaking young. He's 36, so that means Michael died in 2009. Michael was 50. This is 2018. That's 9 years ago. So he would have been 36 minus 9. He would have been 27 when Michael passed. So how old would he have? How old would Michael have had to have been? Wait now. Oh, wait now. Wait. He was 27 when Michael passed. 50 minus 27. Michael would have been 23 years old. 23 when this kid was born. Michael would have been 23. Yeah. Now, let's find out. How old was Michael Jackson when he recorded Thriller?
Michael Jackson was 50 years old when he died in 2009.
Bitch, I didn't ask you when he died. I know that, white heifer. So I'm saying they always have to tell you some shit you already know. That's standard. Standard. Maybe I should ask it different. At what age did Michael record Thriller? "30 years ago today."
According to ABC News, 30 years ago today, at the age of 24, Michael Jackson set out to become the king of pop with the release of Thriller.
Okay, but this article is from November 30th, 2012. But that doesn't matter, because it says that he was 24 at the time of Thriller. So that would have been right at the height of Thriller. Let me know, y'all, what you think. And also go and do some more, search some more videos on him and stuff, that I'm not able to bring you. But, form your own opinion. For me, I'm locked down solid. This is Michael Jackson's child. I don't give a goddamn. I don't. This is his child. Because all the other boys that are in the family, all of Jermaine's kids, all of Tito's kids, none of them are like their uncle. None of them even act like Michael. None of them. None of them. Even the brothers don't act like Michael. You can look at them and go, you totally relate to Michael, like y'all brothers. But they don't act like Michael. They don't have his mannerisms. They don't have all the shit. This kid has all of that. Little fine things that he has. Like I can tell you the one interview I watched, even the way he sips his tea or whatever he had in that damn cup, the way he holds the cup, the way he sipped it, everything was Michael. I just feel like he owes us this. I think somebody just needs to get to him and say, look, if you're fearing that you're not going to be received on your own merit because you're Michael's son, you've already created a career for yourself. For years he's been out there. Years. You've already created a career for yourself. But if that wasn't enough, even if you were starting today, all you got to do is look at your Aunt Janet. We just know her as Janet. We don't see her as trying to be her brother or any of that stuff. Like, Janet has created her own space. Like, I am Janet, bitches. Take that. That's it. Even when they did Scream together, you saw them as two separate people. Like, oh, that's so cool that they're doing their thing together as brother and sister. But we saw Janet as Janet and Michael as Michael. Janet was killing it. He was killing it. If you ask me, quite frankly, Janet outkilled Michael on that video, if you just ask me. But maybe I'm just biased because that's my wife and everything like that. But I'm just saying, though, feel me? Just talk back to me, troops. Is this the begotten son of Michael Joseph Jackson, the most famous human being known to civilization? Is it? Is it? The greatest that ever did it. Period.